Pants Friday. No Pants Friday. No Pants, no Pants, no Pants Friday.
You like my singing?
Your voice has gotten deeper.
What is happening, guys? Ooh, ooh. You know what? It's like 48 degrees here in Vegas. Ooh, that's very cold.
It was 30. It's been in the 30s the past few days, like in the morning, and then at night it's been in the low 30s. I think it even got down to like 20 something the other night. This is longer than usual, so like later in the season than usual, and colder than usual for us
It's
here.
freezing. You got to remember there is pretty much no humidity. So
yeah, zero humidity.
Cold, like hot temperatures here don't feel so hot, and cold temperatures feel super cold.
Mm-hmm.
And in a couple days it's gonna be 30, but it's snowing in some places. Oh, Kara says it's 82. But yeah, Sandra, I was gonna say you're gonna dig my blanket that I just got. I get the Fright Loot box every 2 months, and this month this one is all around Valentine's Day. And seriously, the coolest thing ever. Usually you get a t-shirt, which I got a t-shirt too, but this time they sent out a blanket. Look at this thing. Look at this. See you in hell. Bride of Chucky. There you go. Chucky and his lady Tiffany. You like it?
No.
You like it?
I mean, it doesn't creep me out like some people,
Kiss
but
Chucky. Kiss Chucky. Kiss him.
No.
Kiss him.
No.
Kiss him. But seriously, Sandra, how amazing is this blanket? Oh yeah. See? Pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah. I'm glad it stays in the office.
I love the Fright Loot thing. Is really awesome because it's like it's $24.99 and you get one
This is
every.
standard. My wife would hate it. Yep. It's always one of us.
Anyway, it's like $25, and then every 2 months you get like a really cool box with like pins and a t-shirt and like all kinds of other cool stuff.
And Allison, no, she
Love
did
it.
not say Valentine's. If she said Valentine's, she would be out the door.
Valentine's Day. Actually, I said Valentine's.
I have quite a few pet peeves when it comes to grammar. That's right up there. So, and
I didn't know that was a thing if people say Valentine's.
Thankfully, she does not.
No, I do not. Also, for the first time, I'm finally for the first time wearing one of my Christmas presents from Victoria, my Freddie Mercury t-shirt. Don't stop meow. Don't stop meow. Don't stop meow.
Laura Franzica, can you please be more Pacific? All right, don't even get me started. All that stuff. Library.
My biggest one is supposedly instead of supposedly, not supposedly. Anyway, now that we're done with our judging for the day,
there's a lot of them. There's a lot of judgy. I am Judgy McJudgerson.
Red Neckerson Resale says I'm not very good at that grammar stuff. Sorry.
You're not supposed to be. You're supposed to. You've got a persona now behind this computer of being of pantsless
redneck.
That's your persona. So you're supposed to fit that persona.
Anyway, guys.
Bonnie, irregardless.
Yeah.
Although I think that might be in the dictionary now, which really drives me crazy. People start using words incorrectly long enough and they put them in the dictionary.
Okay.
That's a problem.
I have a question for you guys. Let me ask you guys a question. Because this isn't really about a grammar thing. It's just about a phrase that has become very popular over the past, I'd say I've noticed in the last year or two. It's whenever you go into like a store or something like that. And I swear it's always like the kind of hipstery people that say this. But you go into a store or whatever and they say, welcome in. What do you think about that? It's almost like they're saying willkommen, which is German. But they say welcome in instead of welcome, or it's not, there's nothing grammatically wrong with it whatsoever, but it was not something that people really said up until the last
I don't think I've ever really heard that.
Really? I hear it all the time. Welcome in. It's not, again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just something that I've noticed, and it always makes me think like they're basically starting what's that Broadway musical that's got cabaret when they say welcome in, and so I always think that's like what's playing in my head. Anyway, I hear it all the time. So I don't know. Just wondering.
Standing online, that's more of a UK thing. That's a different,
well, UK's they stand in a queue.
Yeah, that's true. They stand in a queue. or standing on queue. Yeah.
Allison, if they don't say get the F out, I'm happy. Anyway, it's Friday, which means it's No Pants Friday. And people are saying like, oh, it's too cold. I gotta wear pants. Listen, guys, how many times do I need to say this? You can wear non-restrictive waist-banded pants and you will be okay. So that means maybe you're wearing sweats. Maybe you're wearing long johns. Maybe you're wearing leggings. I'm just saying, when I say no pants, yes, for me, I'm literally talking about no pants because I am wearing boxer briefs right now, my donut boxer briefs. But if you're wearing leggings or sweats or long johns,
pajama
bottoms, all of those count for No Pants Friday.
It's so cold that I choose to just not even leave the house when it's this cold.
As Kathy said in the chat, for a lot of you guys, it's Snow Pants Friday.
Yeah.
Snow Pants Friday. Oh, it's Snow Pants Friday.
No.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, guys.
Yeah, Gretchen, I'm in a hoodie. This is the dumbest hoodie ever, but I got it at a thrift store, and I hardly ever wear pink. I know you guys, people think pink is my favorite color. It's really not. It's my favorite color for my hair, but I own very few articles of clothing or anything in pink. I don't wear this out in public, but this is I picked this up at a thrift store, and it says something like, it's a peacock thing you wouldn't understand. I don't know. I love peacocks. It was pink.
Yeah.
It's big and baggy.
I feel like you do a lot of apologizing for this sweatshirt. Maybe why don't you just embrace it?
It's an ugly sweatshirt, but it's so comfortable. So I've got PJ pants on and my sweatshirt. I did shower, did my hair, put a little makeup on.
Good job. Yeah, we're gonna talk food talk apparently.
No, we're not. We're skipping the food talk. Seriously.
So yesterday you were pretty grumpy. Are you still grumpy today?
No, I'm not as grumpy as I was yesterday. Yesterday I was crabby pants. I had my crabby pants on.
Wait, crappy pants?
Crabby. Crabby.
You crapped your pants?
No. I'm gonna punch you in the
mouth. She was super crabby yesterday.
Totally crabby. Like, don't even talk to me, crabby. You know, you ever had one of those days everything's going wrong? Yeah. It was like the is it Harold and what's the one with the purple crayon? Is that the book where they talks about the no good, really bad, horrible day or whatever? I don't even know. It was bad. It was a bad day. Some days you just don't want to talk to anybody.
Well, part of it was that I was going all day sourcing and I was not taking her with me because she just had work to do at home. I would have taken her if she wanted to go.
It wasn't that you weren't taking me. It was that
that's why
I chose to not go.
I just clarified that.
Jerry, I don't want to picture you in your tidy whities, Jerry.
Whoa.
Keep your tidy whities off the screen, Jerry.
Jerry, I got some hats for you. No, so we're together pretty much 24/7 every day of the week, 7 days a week. And then occasionally I will do my all day sourcing on a Thursday. He won't go with me. And then let me tell you guys, she cries about it all day long. I get multiple texts wondering when I'm going to be home. And then I get texts from her saying like she's giving up on the day and she's getting back into bed. You seem to have a real hard time when I leave without you.
Aw, that must be it.
I like to think so.
That's what it's called. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Thank you. That was what I was trying to think of. I knew it was a children's book, and I had it confused with Harold and the Purple Crayon, I think.
Yeah. Well, Allison, so you're talking about Wade and Wade's Ventures. If you look at his YouTube channel is Wade's Venture, and I think his Instagram is Wade's Ventures. So really, I think he does it to mess with us. I think he does it to make us go a little bit crazy. Because look, he actually has it. Like, I believe his Instagram is at Wade's Ventures.
You guys could be boring like us, or Wade could have been boring like us. It's Katie and Vicky. Like, it doesn't get more ridiculous. Like, everybody's
so boring about that.
Names for their channels, and we're like,
no, because I'm like, let's make it. No, it wasn't that we couldn't think of anything. It was that I wanted to make it easy. It's like, why? It's the same with using my own name. I didn't want to come up with some sort of like made up name. I just thought, you know what? We're just gonna be, like we're like Regis and Kelly.
All right.
So
all right.
I yell a lot. Isn't it? Regis was kind of a yeller.
That's true.
So I think it all works out.
Does that make me Kelly? Because I think she's an annoying twit.
I mean, do you want to be Kathy Lee?
Oh, that's even worse. All right, I guess I'll go with Kelly. At least Kelly's cute. Liz, sweatpants and my wooden spoon survivor hoodie. Nice. I'm all about the wooden spoon survivor thing too. So if you were raised by an Italian or a Portuguese or any type of ethnic family, that wooden spoon get that cracked over your butt.
Yeah. Yeah. Gretchen says, I spent the week being vomited on and no sleep. Oh, man, your kid's got the flu. That is a huge bummer.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's been going around. Anyway, yeah, I always forget to ask Wade, like, why is he trying to confuse us? But maybe I'll get the skinny on it when we're there in a couple of weeks when we're in Portland.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
And
I want to acknowledge here that Kara Cooper was in the chat, and she has been in and out of the hospital. So she's home from the hospital. She's got some real bad intestinal stuff going on right now. So I hope you're feeling better, honey.
And I hope that means you are not wearing pants.
Yeah, I hope not.
Anyway, hope you're feeling better, Kara. Glad you're back home. And let's see. Jen says that she did proud at the thrift yesterday. Made it to her favorite thrift. Vintage Adidas, vintage Nike, vintage t-shirts, vintage Nautica. Splack! You know what? You haven't been there in like a year. That's one of the things I really like about going to other places. Like when we went to Phoenix and we went to all the Savers there, is, you know, I look for stuff that maybe other people don't necessarily look for, particularly when it comes to like t-shirts and stuff like that. So here it's like I'm going to all the Savers every single week. So I'm going through all the t-shirts and I'm just, you know, a lot of them I went through the week before and I'm just looking for the new additions. But if I go to, you know, Phoenix and there's 7 Savers there and we go to all of those, it's like virgin territory. It's like there's, you know what I mean? So you find like even more awesome stuff because nobody there is going to be thrifting exactly like I thrift. So it's always fun. So not going to like your favorite place for like a year. Yeah, you're going to find some cool stuff. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
Liz says that she started getting her taxes together after the last live about taxes. So yeah,
good job.
Impressive. Good job. And hey guys, if you haven't watched the show from this last Wednesday, a couple of days ago, we did do it about taxes. We had Mark from Not Your Dad CPA on.
And somebody earlier in the chat said they hired him. I can't remember who it was that said that. So yeah.
Very, very cool. Jen says the entire store is $1. What?
It's even better.
Well, I went yesterday. Like I said, I went sourcing all over the place. First of all, I met up with Barry, aka Afro Vintage on Instagram. You should be following him on. You know, he doesn't put out a lot of content on Instagram. He needs to step it up because when he does, I always like the stuff he puts up. But he's just kind of gotten started with his Instagram account. But he just put some cool stuff up. Anyway, we met up yesterday morning and I bought not like a huge bulk buy, but it was like 9 items. I think I bought 9 items from him. And so it started my day off really nice. And then I went to all the Savers. And then guys, I've been working on my experiment. I don't know. I think I mentioned it last week on Sunday's show.
You talked about it Wednesday too.
Yeah. So I took in a bunch of stuff to Buffalo Exchange. And they didn't take everything I brought in, but they took every single thing that I bought purposely over this last week, like last Thursday and yesterday. Everything I bought with the intention of trading it into Buffalo, they took every single one of those. So that makes me feel good. It means I'm grabbing the right kind of stuff that they want. And then they took some other stuff too. I've had some old stuff that I hadn't listed that just wasn't worth selling. So they took everything I wanted. I ended up getting $225 in credit because they do 50%. It's like if they sell a t-shirt for $10, they'll give you $5 trade. So it's actually pretty good. So
and most of the stuff you brought in there, you'd spent a couple of bucks on.
The most I'd spent on anything I brought in was like $3. The stuff I intentionally bought to trade in, and I didn't get less than 5 credit for any of it. So I'm going to keep doing it because basically it's like I'm already out shopping at all the Savers. I'm already going
and it's stuff that you're not stuff that you wouldn't be keeping to sell yourself for $30 or $40. It's stuff that you think they would like.
Exactly. So for instance, they sell a lot of band t-shirts. So like, but t-shirts that are not vintage. So like, you know, anytime I'm out and I see something like there was a Guns N' Roses t-shirt that was like kind of like a tie-dye. It just had the graphic on the front. But it was like a printed tag, not vintage. It's
probably something that was
you could get it on eBay
or whatever.
Maybe you could get it on eBay for $15, $12, even less. You know, somebody had one used up, but they sell them there for like $10 to $12. So if I can get one for $2, and then when I go to Buffalo Exchange for my normal shopping time, you know, if I could take a $2 purchase and get $6 credit out of it,
right?
And I'm already going to spend money there. It's an awesome deal.
Yeah, it makes sense for you for sure.
Yeah. So if you have Buffalo Exchange where you live, you should go check it out. Like
learn what sells. Do a little reconnaissance.
Do some research. Go in. do a little shopping and just look and see like, what t-shirts they have and kind of get an idea of like the kind of stuff that they sell, what their prices are. Cause it's pretty cool. I'm going to keep doing it.
So Gretchen asked a little further back, have we thought of buying return pallets to resell? Katie probably wouldn't do that because there's not enough margin in the clothing for the most part, and she likes the thrill of the hunt, as do I. I have thought about doing it before for certain household goods and things like that, but to be honest with you, again, the meat on the bone is real small. A lot of the returns are missing parts or broken items for the type of things that I'd be interested in. Like household appliances or electronics or something like that. So for me, as it stands right now, I don't really get less than 10 times anything that I purchase. So it's not quite enough margin for me. I understand why people do it. I think it can be done very well in high volume and things like that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
But for me, I just don't think I don't think there's enough meat on the bone for me, because I have no shortage of inventory out here. I think if it were difficult to find inventory and I wanted, instead of spending time sourcing, I wanted it just sent to me. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, everybody has a different model. So for instance, I was saying I met up with Barry. He goes around multiple times a week to like different yard sales. He got a bunch of jerseys at a yard sale that I bought off of him. He goes to estate sales. He does all kinds of stuff. And then he will go and make the rounds at like the different vintage shops, because there's like higher end vintage shops here that do streetwear that pay out a good amount for like really cool stuff. And he just wants to flip it quick. He doesn't want to spend the time sitting at home listing. I think his eBay has given him a hard time because his eBay's got like 25 items listed on it. And but that's not his model. His model is to go out. He wants to hustle, buy stuff for $1 here, $2 there, gather up all the stuff, and then he wants to flip it really fast. And so it works out great for me. And I mean, both of us really, it's a really good relationship because he knows he can pick up this stuff cheap. He can flip it to me and maybe triple his money or quadruple his money really fast. And then I can take that and I can jack it up because I'm going to sell it on Etsy and eBay for way higher price.
Yeah.
So,
and he's happy to get the quick flip and the quick cash. He doesn't want to wait it out.
There's different models. So
let's see. Clothes Mentor. I've never actually heard of that store or chain. So that sounds pretty good. What do we have here? I'm looking to see what kind of questions there are.
Remember, this is our weekly AMA, Ask Me Anything, Ask Us Anything. So any questions you can ask, personal, business, whatever you want to know, and we'll try to answer you to the best of our ability.
Yeah, no, I know there's no Clothes Mentor in Vegas. I've actually been to every single thrift store in the Vegas Valley area. What?
What's that one called? Thrift Brothers?
Yes, we haven't been there yet.
We got to go.
But that's only been open for a couple of months. So anything that's been open more than a couple of months. I've lived here almost 6 years. I've been to every single one at least once. There are several that I've been to that I was like, man, I don't need to come back again. It doesn't need to be part of my rotation. But I've been to every single one.
Yeah. Buffalo Exchange, I really want to check out their outlet store, and maybe next time I go to Phoenix, we can make a day of it, because the thing is I think they have 2 different outlets in the US, and so they bring in all their stuff to each of their locations. At the beginning of the month, they put little sales stamps on the tags of stuff that they want to go on sale. And for the first half of the month, that's 25% off. And then halfway through the month, it goes to 50% off. And then at the end of the month, they pull all of it and they send it to their outlet store. And one of them is like a couple hours south of Phoenix. I just want to go check it out because I want to see what the deal is. It's not by the pound. I think everything, but it's like much lower price than anything is in their regular stores. I'd be really curious to check it out. But if somebody lives in that area, you guys should totally go look at it and tell us what's up.
Lisa said some people source at Goodwill and sell it to Plato's. I'm sure it's the same method as what she's doing. I think that could totally be done. I haven't been to every store here thousands of times over. That's not but I have definitely been to every one. Kat has a question. Since the postal increase, I've noticed eBay is cheaper than pirate ship for small 1 to 2 pound packages. I'd never seen eBay lower for domestic priority. They were about the same. And that I still really use pirate ship for cubic shipping and simple export rate. So first class international ship packages only. That's the real time that's the only time you're going to see a significant difference. They're about the same for all other items.
Before all the changes, they were the same. And now their regular priority and flat rate priority is cheaper for some sellers. I know some sellers are still getting the same rate as, on eBay.
Yeah.
Some sellers are still, so for instance, a padded flat rate mailer on pirate ship is $7.55, on eBay, depending on what level seller you are, some sellers like us, we're getting them for $733, and other sellers are getting them for $755. Now, some people are saying it has to do with top rated, but it's not top rated plus because
It's
you're
just
not
top
plus
rate-
right now.
it's
So
top
it's just
rated.
top rated. But if you're not a top rated seller, your prices should be the same as pirate ship all around. So Buffalo Exchange, it's way better than Plato's. So Plato's tends to be super trendy, not
current
mall brands.
Current mall brands.
Yeah, you're for the most part. I mean,
Think every teenager, young 20-something closet is what you're gonna find.
Mid-level streetwear that doesn't really have much resale value. Like, you know, it's real basic stuff. It's probably a good place to take your kid to go shopping for school clothes and stuff, but not great for resale. Other than their shoes, they do have good shoes there because shoes are shoes, and they do buy some good stuff. But their prices are pretty high. And so they're not the best. Buffalo Exchange, they focus a lot more on vintage, and they always have really cool stuff. Like I always find really cool t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, stuff like that. So they have good stuff. And actually their prices for, if you were just like a young person that wanted to go buy, get it on the vintage game and you wanted to wear vintage like 90s clothes and t-shirts and stuff like that, their prices are actually pretty good. It's like, yeah, you're paying, you know, $10 to $15, $16 for a used t-shirt. But I mean,
here. Sorry.
what are you doing? But if you tried to buy that same stuff online, you'd be paying a lot more. So yeah.
Jen, where do you guys find your promoted listing fees when you're doing your numbers? So you can find them on your eBay monthly invoice, first of all, but you just go right to promoted listings. Go to marketing, go to promoted listings, and then you can customize the dates to look at your fees, and then you can actually break it down to a report if you want to see individual what particular items those fees are applicable to. Just go right to marketing, promoted listings, and then on the top right hand side of the page you can customize the dates, and then you can look at the link.
Just go to your promoted listings page and poke around in there. There's all kinds of reports and stuff.
You'll find it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gretchen, Jerry, first of all, what is the date for a Silverton yard sale? I don't know yet. It's usually in April. There's 2 a year. And the next one is it's usually April and I think October. Google Jerry. I don't know. I haven't looked yet. When is eBay changing over to Aiden? They are already doing it in stages, but the end result is going to be end of summer or fall 2020. So you have a ways to go before it's mandatory. And are they going to do direct deposit at that time? I assume so. If it's going to be set up, none of us know the exact details, but Teresa could probably pipe in if she's in the chat for that, or anyone in managed payment that's using it now. But the way Aiden works on Etsy, anyway, I get a daily deposit on Etsy. So for the previous day's sales.
Oh, I think Jasso, you're talking about this. You had a tax question earlier. I have no idea what's going on. She said that they were like Value Village was doing a tax, charging a tax on each individual item and then on the total altogether. I have no idea what that is.
That doesn't sound accurate. You can't really.
Next time you go in there, if that happens, ask your manager and just ask them to explain it to you. And it might be something maybe you just misunderstood, or I don't know what, but you should find out, because if it's a mistake, then they need to change that, because they shouldn't be charging extra.
Yeah, you can't charge tax twice.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anything you guys want to know? And should I reveal?
Only if you're going to open them and share them with me.
Shh. Hush up now. You're giving away secrets. Okay, listen, guys. Yesterday I was outsourcing, and this one over here decided that she was going to sell multiple things that had to go FedEx. So 2 different times I had to go to drop off her stuff for her. And one of the times I went in, I found something amazing. I found something life-changing. I found something incredible. Are you guys ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready? First of all, no, I'm gonna acknowledge Enrique right here. Sent my first international sale. Thanks for the great info. $1.99 super chat. Super chat. Super chat. He's super chatty. Yow.
Weird.
Anyway, guys, seriously, listen up. Something happened yesterday, and I'm never gonna be the same. Quit. Something happened. I need your full attention. This is very important, okay? This is very important. I was at Walgreens and I saw something. I saw something that got me a little excited. And then I looked a little closer and I got even more excited. and things are never going to be the same again. This right here is Dark Side Skittles. Dark Side Skittles. Look at that. Dark Side Skittles. Oh, but wait, guys. Check this out. Check out the flavors we got here. Check out the flavors. Hold on. Trying to get it to focus.
Try to get it to
focus. Focus. It's not wanting to focus. But anyway, the flavors: black cherry, dark berry, blood orange, forbidden fruit. Forbidden fruit. What is that? And midnight lime. Midnight lime. There's a lime Skittle. Lime Skittles are back, guys, in the midnight. Or sorry.
Look at Liz. No. You may or may not have 2 bags on their way to you, she says. Liz,
I will eat those.
I might confiscate them.
Anyway, listen, but here's the thing. These are for a limited time too. Apparently, I did my research and I found out that Dark Side Skittles have been around since I think like 2013, but they're always limited edition. So they're out right now. They just came out within the last few weeks, and we're gonna test them out. So you know,
Liz, there's one for each of us. She's nice.
Yay! Thanks, Liz. Believe me, it's all fleeting because these I don't even know how long these are going to be around. So the more we have, the better for everyone. But we're going to try these puppies out.
Okay, so I'm going to answer some questions while you're making a lot of noise opening that package.
I'm not going to share with you then. We're trying to.
I'm answering questions.
Listen, this is No Pants Friday. We do whatever we want.
Okay.
And right now we're testing out magical Skittles. Hold on, guys. We're going to look at these Skittles.
I'm still going to answer questions because this is not that exciting for other people.
Yes, it is. It's very exciting. Guys, are you excited? Come on. Are you excited?
Then you
shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Okay, so we're going to test these out. Uh-oh, I ripped off the part that showed the flavors. Which one is forbidden fruit? Well, I think the blue one. Taste that one. Tell us what flavor it is. Is it forbidden? What's it
I don't know.
like?
A fruity Skittle. I don't know. All right, one witch lady asks, any news on eBay Open yet? I don't know when the tickets are going to go on sale, but it is the same time as it was last year. The dates have been confirmed. It is July 23rd through the 25th. It's 23rd is Tuesday. The 25th is a Thursday.
So it's going to be set up like the same as last year. We just don't know the exact venue, but it's in Vegas. So hold on. All right, now we're going to try the Midnight Lime. Yeah, guys, I don't know. You're right, Susie Beach. Who knows what the hell midnight lime means? But maybe it means like I'm in bed at midnight eating my limes under the blankets. Limey.
It just tastes like lime.
Why are you harshing my mellow?
That was hard.
All right, guys. The rest of the show. The rest of the show is gonna be me hanging out with my buddy Chucky. All right.
Thanks.
All right. You want a Skittle? You want a Skittle? Here.
I'm suffocating.
So rude.
Cowgirl. God, no, it's not in Circus.
It's called. We're trying to put on a show here, okay?
Yeah.
We're putting on a show, and part of the show is creating excitement. You don't get any more of that. And when you sit there and you go, yeah, this isn't real lime.
It's lime.
Okay, you shut your mouth.
See, lime is not dark side. I'm with you, Susie.
It's
just lime.
Susie, you shut your mouth too. No, this is midnight lime, okay? Can you have midnight lime in the sunshine? No, you can't. Because you know why? Because it's freaking midnight. Okay? Anyway.
Raisinets. Hey, raisins are grapes, and grapes are health food. So raisinets are healthy. I'm with you, Jen. Just eat up.
Jen, I feel differently about you. Raisinets are disgusting.
I like raisinets. I actually bought raisinets and had them at the movies the other night.
No.
What'd you do to my head? Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Looks the same as it did before. It's the same as it did.
Questions?
No, we can't.
You're just gonna yap at me about Skittles?
Yeah, it's Friday. It's No Pants Friday. We answer questions, but we do it at our leisure, okay? We do it at our own pace.
Leisure?
Whilst not wearing any pants, okay? We aren't on a schedule.
You ignore the questions and they scroll away.
Anyway, guys, I like dark chocolate. What the hell was that?
I don't know. I'm laughing. I'm laughing at the Raisinets.
But that wasn't really a laugh. That was more like,
I'm gonna punch your guys.
that's her other laugh. She goes, and
oh, cowgirl, thank you. My hair does not grow fast, but it's I'm trying to let it grow. So, anywho, yeah, thank you. I cut it literally a year ago, and it's only grown a couple of inches. So,
have you ever sold makeup before?
I have. I have. You just want to make sure that if you're selling makeup, it is not expired. Unless you're selling it as something that's like a collectible or vintage type of.
Yeah. I mean, CoverGirl, isn't CoverGirl already a pretty low price?
Yeah, I mean, CoverGirl's really only a couple bucks a piece anyway. So I personally wouldn't have sold that just because, I mean.
Or maybe do it in a lot or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dorothy, I like Whoppers. This one does not. But I love malted malt. I love malt. You know, chocolate malt shake at Dairy Queen's delicious. And they do not put raisins in it, so it's even better.
Weirdo.
You're a weirdo.
How do you ship hairspray? Ooh. Hairspray is an aerosol product. You need to ship it ground, just like
other
aerosol perfume products? Or other aerosol products. Yeah.
I like gummy bears too. Here's the thing about gummy candy. I like my gummy candy to be stale because when it's super fresh, it's a little chewy. Too soft. I want it to be nice and chewy. So like good stale. So if you get like even like those gummy peaches, those peach rings, I like to get those and open them and leave them for a couple of days, and then they're like real chewy.
Always every Friday we talk about food. It should be no pants all food Friday is what it should be.
Or any day really, any day.
See, Lori, go back to high-end cheese. I'm with you. I mean, not that I don't love candy because I do, but it's
kind of a problem.
I love candy, but I like real food too. I'm not all about like the shakes and things like that. But yeah, used Chanel makeup. Ooh, that's kind of gross.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes for the packaging. A lot of stuff people buy for the packaging. And yeah, the Braille typewriter thing was really cool. I had picked that up when Victoria Smith was here. Actually, I picked it up at the Savers. I think it might be the Decatur Savers, if I remember correctly. And it was not very expensive. It just looked cool. And whenever I find anything that looks interesting or cool, I almost always buy it because I usually find it to be worth something.
Yeah.
I looked it up really quickly. But I didn't do a lot of research and I just saw that, yeah, okay, they sell pretty well, I think, if it's what I think it is. I didn't know if it was complete. I didn't know what the deal was with it, but I was like, $10, sure.
So Sandra says that we should do a cooking show once a week. Let me tell you, it's not going to happen, first of all. Second of all, it would be a pretty entertaining show because this one over here would be cussing a lot and probably throwing stuff. Basically what would happen is it would start out with her trying to make something, her starting to cuss and yell and throw stuff, and then me coming in and finishing up is usually what would happen. She can cook when she's cooking like something that she just has made before on her own.
Yeah, I'm a good cook. I just don't like to cook. I don't enjoy it. There's a difference.
Well, and also we've been doing HelloFresh, and they are some of the recipes are a little bit more complex. Like there's a lot of different things you have to be doing at the same time. And she's somebody, I don't know if you guys can believe this. She gets easily frustrated. And then she gets a little shouty. Let's just say she gets a little shouty.
I get a lot of shout.
She gets a little shouty. Yes.
I don't like to cook. So therefore, because I'm not enjoying it, I don't want 47 steps to cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to do a few things and have
you
it
also
be done.
Don't like to follow directions.
That too.
Whereas I'm a lot more like I like to cook and I love following recipes. So to me, it's really super fun. So it could be a pretty entertaining show, but it might lead to us breaking up much more frequently.
More frequently? As opposed to when have we broken up before?
Jokingly, when I say that we've broken up.
We've never broken up.
I know we've never broken up. Do you prefer to cook alone in the kitchen? I like to do it by myself. If I'm cooking something, I like to do it all myself. If she's cooking, she likes to have me chop up stuff if there's stuff to be chopped up. Whereas if she asks me if I want stuff chopped up, I'll be like, nope, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much.
Actually, Lori, we found that HelloFresh is actually not that expensive.
It depends.
For 2 people, I think it's very reasonable.
Even at full price, it's $10 a serving. So that means a dinner is going to be $20. But you have to understand that when we go, when we're trying to be good and we're buying groceries and cooking at home and stuff like that, we'll go to the store, we'll buy the groceries, and technically it might be cheaper to cook a meal that way, but I guarantee you we always end up throwing food out because we have too much extra. We end up not using all of something, and so while it might seem like it's cheaper, it gets wasted. And so, but if we eat out, it really costs a lot. And so we found with the HelloFresh, like right now we have we have a discount, so it's a lot cheaper. But even at full price for us, $20 a meal, where we don't have leftovers that end up getting thrown out. And plus
everything's fresh. Everything tastes really good. We have not had a bad meal yet.
And it's pre-portioned, so you can't overeat. So if you're trying to like watch your calories, you have a set amount of calories and you just eat your half of the meal. And it works out really well. And I think it's really fun. Vicky, I know, does probably agree with you a little bit on how much work it takes, how long it takes. I think it's really fun to do it, to make the food. And we've liked pretty much every meal that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just depends. Now, for a whole family, like somebody who's trying to cook for their kids and their spouse and everything like that, I do think it would be way too expensive because
for a single person, it's perfect. Or for a couple, I think it's perfect.
Yeah. So.
But I do agree. If once you start adding in like a family of 4, then it's definitely too pricey. You can cook much cheaper for a family of 4 or 3. So,
yeah. See, Dana says a cooking show could get stabby really quick. Very, very true.
Oh, Shandeals, if you use SmartPost, can you ship through your post office? Usually, yes. You can hand it off to your postal carrier, or you can take it into a FedEx office. You can do either. You need to check with your post office. Some post office do not accept SmartPost. Yeah. Mine does, but I'm not sure about yours. Everybody's a little bit different. The end result is that it ends up with the post office. So usually they're going to take it. It's FedEx SmartPost means it goes from FedEx and it's delivered by the U.S. Postal Service.
Mm-hmm.
It's slow boat to China though, so it's not going to be a priority item. So it is going to take longer to get where it's going. Yeah. And generally speaking, SmartPost is not significantly cheaper. Parcel Post, with these new rate increases, Parcel Post has been showing up as being almost the same rate or a little bit cheaper than Priority lately. So I actually sent something Parcel Post the other day that I hadn't in a while because it was the expected delivery date was the same.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Allison said way too cheap for HelloFresh. Yeah, like
you've got kids at home too.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Like for us, because of the way we shop and because of the way we end up throwing stuff out, it is not. I think it's cheaper for us. So far, it's been cheaper for us having these meals because it's like we're making them at home. I don't know. Anyway, it just depends on how you do it. Corduroy Fox, Chris wants to know: are you having any issues with eBay that keeps creating drafts of everything you're sending live?
Not everything, but every few things. You got to be real. And I don't do drafts. I don't keep drafts. I don't use them. So for me, it's real easy to just go in once a day when I'm done listing and delete these duplicate drafts. I don't know why they're doing it, but I know it's a known issue.
I mean, I didn't even know it was an issue because I don't work with drafts. I don't even look at drafts. So if they're there.
See it. Yep.
Right. But I don't look at drafts. So why would I see it?
I don't know.
So
I'm anal, so I see everything, I guess. I don't know.
I don't really care if there's extra drafts sitting there. It doesn't bother me, but I don't work with drafts. So
Allison says the kids get cereal.
I eat cereal for breakfast. What's your favorite cereal? If you could only have one cereal for the rest of your life, I mean, you can have other food too, but cereal was down to one cereal. Which one would you pick? The only one you can have ever.
I'm just not a huge cereal eater.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can eat other stuff, but if
I like granola. Some kind of granola.
Like just chunky granola.
Like Nature's Valley granola or something like that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say Cheerios, guys. Plain Cheerios. I love plain Cheerios. Our parents did not let us we didn't have sugar cereal in our house growing up. My dad was he was really into grape nuts and Cheerios.
Yeah, we had grape nuts and Cheerios and Cracklin' Oat Bran.
And so for me, it had the effect of it made it so that I really just I never did like sugar cereal. Every once in a while, I'll do Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but regular plain Cheerios are the best to me. My sister had the opposite effect on her, where she loved like Captain Crunch and crap like that. I thought was gross. So.
Sharon asked, doing without drafts, does that happen with experience? I think it just depends on your preference and listing. I've never used drafts.
Me neither.
I don't go to find someone else's listing and hit sell similar, and I think that's how a lot of people get drafts.
I do that too, but I don't have drafts either.
And I list as I go, so
yeah,
I just don't use drafts.
my flow, because anything I do, I find whatever the flow is, the process that's going to work for me. And for me, my flow is that I do my pictures first, my measurements, and so I have that ready to go. So when I sit down, the first time I sit down to list something, I already have all that pre-work done. And then I go and I make my listing, and then I hit live. I have no reason to create a draft. I know for a lot of people, they'll just create a draft while they're still in the store or whatever, and then they go in and put the pictures in later. That, to me, I don't understand
do that. Well,
way.
when Dana does listings for me, she will leave them in draft format. She hasn't done listing for me in a while, but when she'll do listings for me on eBay, she'll leave them in draft for me to go in and review them before I make them live, just in case I want to change a price or a title or just want to double check. It's the same thing as having an assistant do it for you that uses, you know, Turbo Lister or Optiva or, you know, Ink Frog, that type of thing. So for me, that's the only time I'm ever really going to use drafts.
Yeah.
So there was another question.
Lori wants to know, you never get interrupted. I'm assuming you're talking about drafts. I mean, when I list, a stopping point for me will be hitting post or whatever and listing it. Occasionally, if for some reason I was interrupted and I left like my listing open and I hadn't finished it yet, I mean, it'll just stay open on my computer until I come back and finish it. Right. You know, technically it saves it as a draft at some point along the way. So, I mean, yes, there's been 5 times in my life where I've gone back and opened up the draft form because maybe the screen froze or something like that. But yeah, I just don't work with drafts.
Connecticut Girl, yeah, she jots down all her item specifics on a little notepad before she lists. I don't do that. I have my item on my lap as I'm listing or on my desk as I'm listing.
Yeah. Red Neckerson resales, $1.77 super chat. Yeah.
Oy.
Rude.
That was my ear.
I covered your ear with your hoodie.
Stop messing up my damn hair. There was a question back here. Someone asked, it was Gretchen, who is the woman on the top right on the wall? That's my daughter, actually, the one that in her little model pose.
Yeah.
She wanted to be part of the wall. That is my daughter. She is 26 next month.
Yeah. I'll show you real quick. Someone's asking about me writing stuff down. So I just do, it's very, very small amount that I do. So for instance, I have that eBay jacket I still need to list. It literally just says eBay, the size, the measurements. Here it's Bangladesh is where it was made, and then polyester. So that's literally all I have. When I go to list, I also have Google Photos open. So all of my photos are on my other screen, so I can see them right there. And all my photos, because of how I take all my pictures and then I do all my measurements, all of my photos are in the same order as the stuff on the paper. So I really just need a bare minimum because I can see the tag and everything like right there. So it really doesn't take me very long to write this down. It's just like a quick couple of words so I know which item it is, and then the measurements. So it doesn't take me a real long time. I don't write down color because my eyeballs can see the color. So I don't write down all the item specifics, just like the real basic stuff so that I can do my listing.
Is she going to pop on one of your videos? She has, actually. She lives across the country now. She actually just moved back to Rhode Island right before Christmas. She was on our show the week before Katie's accident. So beginning of December, she came and stopped by for a visit on her way back across the country. And then she was on another show. Katie popped up a video way back on our videos for my birthday, and she surprised me last June. So she's been on a couple.
Gretchen says I should have been a doctor with the writing.
Oh, her handwriting's horrible.
If I'm writing something to somebody, it's not horrible.
No, that's true. I can read it.
If I'm writing for myself, but I'll show you what my signature looks like. That's my signature.
So she practiced being a doctor for sure.
Pretty much. Anyway, so Corduroy Fox, Chris says, I wish eBay would allow us to upload from Google Photos directly. That would be pretty awesome. It doesn't take me that long the way that I do it. It doesn't take me very long to download them and then upload. I mean, really, it's not even download them. I'm really just dragging and dropping them over to another window. You can just drag and drop and then upload. So it really doesn't take very much time, but it would be pretty cool if you could just upload them directly. So yeah, see, Big Drift Thrift lists the exact same way as me with a notepad. And you know what? She even uses a red Notepad, just like me. We're twinsies.
You're twinsies.
We're twinsies.
The only reason I don't do it that way, because after Katie showed me, it actually does make a lot more sense. It's just, it's not that it's one less step. It just means the items are put away before you list them. So part of that is good for me, because I like having not everything in my living space. So that makes sense. But the only reason I don't do that is because very often Dana takes my pictures for me, at least clothing items, because I can't do that with hard goods. Obviously hard goods I need to have in front of me because I've got to weigh them. I've got to measure, all that kind of crap. And it's way too hard to write hard goods, all the details that you need.
Yeah,
a lot of the
it's a little
times you're
harder.
going to need a lot of things that are on the packaging
That's
and
true.
stuff like that. So it doesn't work for hard goods, but for clothing, it would work. But Dana takes at least 50 to 75% of my pictures for clothing. So because of that, she'll take the pictures. The stuff is still going to get put in my office anyway. So for it to be, you know, I'm not, unless I had her take the pictures and do the measurements, and then someone else writing your shorthand doesn't quite work. So for me, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
I just stick with it the way I do it.
So Peg, is there a way to make the photos not flip when I upload them? It doesn't happen all the time, so I can't figure out why. Peg, are you using your phone to take pictures? One of the issues that it could be, I know it was happening to her, and is that if you're taking pictures with your phone, so if you're holding your phone up like this, it's automatically going to take it the correct way. But let's say you're taking pictures of hard goods and you have them on a table or something, and you go down to take the pictures. This is exactly what she was doing.
It happens to
You
me.
go down. Well, if you took your camera and you went like this, or you went like this or something, it's going to change the perspective of your photo.
It orients itself
orientation.
properly. Yeah.
And so if you go down like this and you're not paying attention, and maybe you accidentally tilted it a little bit to one side, it can totally flip it around. And so you really have to be paying attention when you're doing that you're not doing it. One thing you can do is you can lock your screen. Usually you can pull down twice. Where's my phone? Usually you can pull it down 2 times, and there's actually an option to, so here's my phone. You pull it down once, you pull it down twice, and then you can see right here up in the corner. Let me see if it'll come in. See right there, it says auto rotate. Well, that's auto rotate. You turn that off, and now it's going to lock it in the mode that you have it in. So in this case, it's portrait. Otherwise, it would be in landscape. So that could be the problem. I don't know.
There's a few other questions in here. So Noelle's in the chat. Hi, sweetie. She found a Robert Graham shirt. Woohoo! Branching into some clothing there. Saxton Cole, what is a good rate to pay someone to list for you or to take photos? It really depends on your area. I really think that there are lots of people pay people by the piece. Some people pay people by the hour. Some people use a virtual assistant. Some people use an actual assistant. I use an actual assistant, and I pay her more than most people are paid for what she does. So, but you know, she's also a very good friend and does exactly what I like. And she's also the house sitter and the dog sitter when we go away. And so a lot of the skills and the things that she brings to the table are worth it to me to keep her, because I would rather pay her more than, start off with somebody at, bottom of the barrel minimum wage and not get what I'm looking for out of it. So again, a lot of people, you have a lot of different factors to look into as far as hiring an assistant.
Yeah. Peg, you said usually upload from the computer, but how are you taking the pictures? Are you using your phone or are you using a regular camera? So you just want to make sure that you have the orientation is correct when you're taking the pictures.
Yeah, when you take them from your phone, I know what you're talking about too. If you're also taking from a camera and you're uploading into your computer, I used to have to go into Microsoft imaging and bulk flip them. I don't know the answer to that, Peg, but it used to happen to me all the time too. So when I was using my camera, I don't know how I ended up fixing it.
Minnie wants to know what printer we all recommend. She's going to make that investment. We use a Zebra thermal printer for our labels, and it is awesome. But really, different people, there's a couple of different brands. What are the other ones? There's Zebra's one.
There's Zebra, there's Dymo, there's Rollo.
So those 3 brands are the ones I hear the most, and they all work under the same basic technology. So it's using heat, and they're better than using like a laser printer, and you don't have to pay for ink. It's you make the investment to buy the printer, and then you buy the rolls of labels, but you're not having to like replenish the ink. And they're much better. They print much better. They're a lot
real fast.
They last. They're less likely to get damaged. on their way to wherever
We
they're
have
going.
a Zebra 505, which is one of the pricier models, but we do have a link below the video to a lot of our supplies.
Everything that we use is linked down below. If you look down below, there's a bunch of affiliate links of all the products that we use if you want to check them out. But we use the Zebra, and I love it. We both love it. So
yeah, Jen, I don't know if Dana ever decided she didn't want to work for me anymore. I'd have a hard time. You know, she's the only person I've ever had work for me. When I finally decided it was time to branch out and try to find an assistant, we kind of learned together because I didn't know what I needed and wanted, and she hadn't ever been on eBay before. Yeah. So we learned together. I learned what I needed. She learned how I liked things done. And, a good assistant is kind of worth their weight in gold. A lot of people go through assistants very frequently, and there's reasons for that. Either they're not good at being a boss, or the person's not good at doing the work. It's hard to find somebody that does things the way you like, how you like them.
Yeah, for sure.
Enrique, when you ship international or when you do insurance through pirate ship, you're declaring the value of the item, not the value plus shipping.
Yeah, they'll ask you specifically, because when you do it on when you do it in pirate ship, for instance, they're asking you the value of the item itself, so you can't add the shipping into that. Which, speaking of, I did a post in the boss group. For those of you who are not in the boss group, I mentioned on the show before, I actually had a package go missing that was going to South Africa. And the last time the tracking saw it, it had arrived in Johannesburg and then it just disappeared. And my buyer was like, hey, I haven't gotten this yet. What's the deal? We went back and forth a few times, but so much time passed, it was clearly gone. And so I had to refund them, but I had gotten insurance on it. And so I went through pirate ship. It was super, super easy. Bjorn at pirate ship was awesome. He basically had me send him like the different documentation that I needed, and then they actually work with the insurance company for you on your behalf. So that part was super, super easy. It took a few weeks and my claim was approved and I got the money back. It was like $55, $55.99, I think. I did not get the shipping back because, again, you are only insuring the costs of the actual item. But I did get that money back, and that was South Africa, where they don't have the delivery confirmation. And then yesterday, the same buyer contacted me and he was like, do you still have this? Because I would buy it again if you have it. I really want it. So, I mean, who knows where it is? Maybe it'll show up someday. But I wanted to tell you guys, because if
that has never been my experience with international insurance, though. So you got to that's awesome that worked. So I'm glad, because that means that I might actually insure some price.
Yeah, so she was saying that she's had a problem with that stuff in the past. I think that has to do with maybe the other companies. I don't know. All I know is that, okay, technically, if you do this work and you never, ever, ever pay for insurance, ever, you're going to come out ahead. You're going to make more money that way, because over time, you're going to spend all this money on insurance that you never use. And then every once in a while, you might need to use it and you'll get your money back. But you'll definitely save money. But if the only reason that you're not doing your own international shipping is because you're really scared about, an item getting lost or damaged on the way over there, if that's like the one thing that's holding you back, at least in the beginning, start doing it and just insure everything. Because clearly I had an experience, South Africa, and the item was gone and I got my money back. So try it out. And then after a while, you'll see, oh, I hardly ever have any problems. I'm just going to stop getting insurance altogether, because what's the point? And then there you go. You're making all kinds of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Couple of things I just want to address earlier. So Allison wants to know when you're ever going to take off the hat.
Never.
She's asking for a friend.
Never.
I might be that friend.
Never. Dana, you need to do something about this. What's going on here? Huh? What's up with that?
Saxton, you like Dana says, House of Rocks Dana, she's my assistant, by the way, in case you didn't know that. The one with the wrench. You do need to trust your assistant. First of all, she has a key to my house. She could completely ruin me. The only thing that she does not have access to is my PayPal account. And then she has my logons for everything else. I'm sure she could figure out my PayPal password if she tried hard enough. You have to be able to trust your assistant. That's really bottom line, especially if it's an in-person assistant. There are ways to use a virtual assistant. I have not. Katie has not. There are many of people. If you just search it, there's going to be some shows on it.
But if you're really concerned about that, because you don't know anybody that you can hire and you're going to be bringing somebody new in, eBay is working on this. They announced at eBay Open that sometime in the first quarter, which is what we're in right now, they were going to be introducing some sort of like back office limited access for like employees. So that should be coming out it hasn't come out yet, but I would guess probably sometime within the next few months.
Yeah, there are ways to have them do it.
So if that's like a big concern for you, just hold off for a few months and wait till that comes around, and then you won't even have, that won't even be an issue.
Upstart might be good for you if you use a virtual assistant and you're using a third-party listing program. So if you're thinking about doing it, I would say do a little bit of research with some people that have done. There have been plenty of YouTube shows done by other YouTubers talking about virtual assistants. So definitely do a little bit of research that way to figure out how you want to find it, what you want the virtual assistant to do and how you want them to work for you. And then by the time you figure that out, we may actually have that limited access for eBay.
Maui Delights just busted out a $5 super chat, and I say that's delightful. What just happened? Did you go, woo?
Well, you cut me off.
Maui Delights, Vicky says, woo. So she's super subdued and excited. Thank you for the $5 super chat.
You're not gonna do a song?
Well, it wasn't a song, but that was an extended harassing of you and making fun of you. I think that counts.
Oh, okay.
So basically,
all right.
People can basically pay for me to tickle you, poke you, make you giggle, tease you, all of those things.
No.
Harass you. We're gonna do that for free. Get that one for free, guys. There's another freebie. Here's another freebie.
Does international through pirate ship include insurance automatically? Only if it's priority. Priority international includes insurance in the same manner that it includes domestic international. It includes insurance to a certain amount. First class international does not include insurance unless you add it.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start wearing my hat like this now. How you feel about that?
Please stop.
This hat's fire.
I have to be honest with you, Jen. I'm one of those people that doesn't see the point of having a virtual listing service or a virtual assistant. And the only reason I don't see the point is because I feel like you've done so much of the work already. What's the point? You might as well do it yourself.
Wow.
With the virtual assistant, a hands-on assistant, somebody in person that takes your photos or does listings for you and has the items and that does it start to finish. I totally get that. So,
well, on next Wednesday show, we're going to have Brooks from Datamine on, as well as Teresa. So that's going to be a really great show because we've got people in the chat who have been using, they were going through the beta process of using that program, that software. And I know one of the things that it's not out yet, but one of the things they're working on is actually, I think what it's going to be is like Datamine's going to be hiring people, or they're going to have people working for them as cross posters. So it's not going to be done. It's not automated. Like it's literally people doing the work, but it's pretty cool. So basically like I would have, do all my listings, and then they would go in and maybe they would cross post everything to Etsy that's vintage, or cross
like that makes sense to me because some of what Dana does for me, half of what Dana does for me is cross posting to Etsy.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool because so it's gonna be kind of like a really cool feature that you can potentially access through that program. It's a behemoth. Like it's pretty cool. Like all the stuff that they're adding to it.
It's really, Peggy, I'm too picky for a VA. I thought so too. I think that with fine tuning, I think you're able to get somebody. I'm very fortunate. I do know that. And I'm not just saying that because Dana's in the chat and she's my friend, but she's very bright and she very much understands the business. She has her own eBay store now that is doing very well, and she just has a good eye, and she's really smart. So it wasn't, it's not like I was trying to train a 15-year-old that's never been in front of a computer how to do it. Once I taught her something, I pretty much needed to just tell her once, and this is how I want it. And she helped build this with me. So yeah, let's see. What else do we have here?
Speaking of death piles, guys, I had that huge pile, and some of you might remember I had the huge pile of stuff over on my couch that was kind of building up after my accident. Check it out. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's just that one little stack now. It's just one little stack. I mean, I have stuff downstairs, all the stuff I sourced yesterday.
Yeah, that doesn't count. You just got it.
No, all the stuff I sourced yesterday, and then I actually pulled out a bunch from here and added it to that because I'm going to be taking pictures all day tomorrow. But that's all going to get done this week because basically what I've been doing is I've been going out and doing my regular sourcing now. And then my rule is that I have to photograph and list all of that plus some of this stuff. And so every week this has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So getting through it. Getting through it, guys.
Have you ever sourced in no pants?
Well, technically, I've been wearing pajama bottoms. Well, they're my going out pajama bottoms because they're just these black Puma pants, and so I wear them going out because I still can't wear jeans with my stomach because it's still healing. So technically, not wearing your normal pants while I go out and thrift. So
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, you're right, Gretchen. What 15-year-old has never been in front of a computer? But you know what I mean. Maybe never has used photo editing software, or has never used eBay. I mean, let's face it, eBay and a lot of their systems are antiquated. When you start talking about kids and teenagers, they're not the most user friendly, and they're not real quick. So I think that might be more of what I mean.
Yeah.
So let's see.
DJ's freaking out. Death pile talk. You got to get rid of it. You got to take care of it. So see, you can still source and deal with the death pile as long as you make a deal with yourself that you got to list. You got to get everything listed that you sourced this week along with some of your old stuff, and then slowly you'll make a dent in it. The problem is when you keep sourcing and just adding to your death pile. You don't want to be adding. So at some point you need to be moving forward and taking away.
Yeah. I have, I'm taking pictures again today. I already took pictures one day this week, and I have about 25 items to take pictures of, and then I'm all set. You know, I have my death pile is my insurmountable stuff on the side of the house that I have not touched. We got it from that free. We got it for free from my friend that owns the RV dealership that purchased a location that was a marina. So I have a whole bunch of like boating things that are worth great money. Some anchors and propellers and skiing, water skiing type of stuff, and it's worth tons of money. But then it's sitting on the side of my house, and I have to actually clean it and photograph it and all that kind of stuff. So for me, that's my death pile. That's about 50 items, and I didn't source it all this week, so I may end up hitting those by Monday. Yeah. You know.
So Noelle has a question.
Yeah, send us pictures of that, Noelle. I meant to say that.
Okay, yeah. So she says she's got a red Kiwanis International Club jacket, vintage one. So yeah, send us some pictures send them to Vicky because I'm sure it's great. I've definitely bought Kiwanis stuff before. So just send her some pictures. Yeah, Big Mac. I think I have OCD. I was list everything within 48 hours of sourcing. I'm the same way as far as like, I want my stuff listed as soon as possible. This is like the first time in pretty much ever that I've had like this much stuff that was unlisted. But that was because I was, I was recovering from an accident and I wasn't able to take pictures and list like I normally would.
48 hours is a little bit much for me, but I will say I don't have anything older than 2 weeks old that isn't listed.
Yeah.
It's about a 2 week thing, because the reason why it's not 48 hours is because I buy too much. I mean, I do list.
But you don't buy too much. You keep up with it.
Well, yeah, I buy between 75 and 100 items new each week. Yeah. So
see, the way I normally would operate is I have my one day where I source all day, and then I try to get all the pictures taken over the next couple of days after that, and then list for the rest of the week. And then the next week I start over again. But ideally, I would always have probably about this much left over always, but it would always be cycling because I want to make sure I'm keeping the new stuff listed. And I don't want to end up having something sitting there for months. So it's always going to be stuff that's like a week to 2 weeks old. And that's just because you never know when you're going to have a real shit sourcing day. So if you're somebody who is getting stuff listed immediately and then you are dependent on that one sourcing day or whatever to be able to have good stuff to list, then you're kind of stuck in a bit of a pickle where you're not going to have stuff to list. And I've had that happen a couple of times and I hate it. So I always do like to have at least like a good week to 2 weeks worth of like backup. In case maybe something happens and I just can't go sourcing. I want to make sure I still have stuff to list. So
yeah, I haven't sourced this week because my sales were so crappy last week, and I actually have plenty of stuff. So I need to get my stuff listed. And I really do. Dana's like, who are you kidding? You're not gonna. My goal, Dana, is to photograph and list at least 5 items a week from that insurmountable pile that I don't know why. It's like maybe 50 items, and I feel like I can't get to it, So that's my death challenge, the insurmountable task. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Big Mac, basically your philosophy is correct because the reality is that you can't sell if it's not listed. So if it's just sitting in your house and it's not listed, then it's just wasting space. So the faster you can get stuff listed, yes, absolutely, you want to get it listed. We're talking about like having a good flow where you always have product to list. So there's like finding that balance, but the sooner you can get it listed, the better. I know a lot of times when I do some retail arbitrage and I go out and spend a little bit more money on something, that stuff a lot of times I will make sure I get listed immediately, like the first day. I'll even come home and like just take pictures real quick so I can get them listed. Because I'm like, I don't want this stuff sitting around. I paid money for this. I need to have it working for me. So.
Sharon asked, are there any VA services that can be recommended? I would ask the people in the chat possibly, because since neither one of us have ever used a VA, it's not something that we can recommend.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Jen wants to know about vintage Ralph Lauren and Hilfiger. Do you think these items will be worth more after they're deceased? I don't really know about that. And
as
honestly,
far as designers, I don't think they both have too many years ahead of them for you to be hanging on to it for that reason.
And honestly, if it's vintage and stuff, the time to sell that stuff is right now
because it's popular right now.
We're still in the phase, and really some of that's getting a little bit less popular. I think some of that Ralph Lauren and Hilfiger is not quite as exciting to people as it was before.
I think it's already starting to hit the slowdown because I'll tell you, there's stuff that I was selling last year for 40, 50, 60 bucks that I can't give away right now.
Yeah, so get that stuff listed. Don't wait for some, because it's not going to suddenly like jack up in price.
The whole
really
Tommy
isn't.
for your mommy is not Tommy's mommy doesn't want that shit anymore right now. It's still good.
No, it's still selling.
It's still good, but it's not selling for as much as it used to, and it's not, the very basic pieces are not going. It's got to be something pretty good.
Yeah, the basic stuff's not like I don't buy button down Tommy Hilfiger at all, or Ralph Lauren. It's got to be something special. It's got to have the big spell out. It's got to have like the really cool color blocking, graphics and stuff like that. Just basic button down polos, that kind of stuff is just worthless. It's not going to sell. So,
Ralph and Tommy
Allison,
are going to outlive Alice. Well, you are kind of old, Allison.
Yeah. Who had the t-shirt thrifting without listing as hoarding? It's true.
That's a good t-shirt.
People, it's like, you guys ever watch that show American Pickers? I have a hard time with it sometimes because I find them the guy's a little bit obnoxious.
I love Danielle,
but she's not in most of the show. But you'll notice that show is very, very kind of walks side by side with the hoarding show. It's just like a different perspective because they're always like driving along and then they'll stop at like some old farm that's got like 20 outbuildings. It'll be some old guy, and every single building will be jam packed with like amazing stuff and all kinds of like antiques and just really, really cool stuff.
They do,
and they will sit there
stuff.
And
they do overpay for
stuff. Well,
stuff.
yeah, but just hear me out. And they'll sit there and they'll try to like get this guy to sell them like one thing, and then by the time they leave, they'll have gotten like sometimes they'll maybe get like 2 items out of him for like $50.
It's a TV show.
Well, it's reality too.
I know.
You're not okay. Listen to my damn story, biatch. My point is, these are people. There are certain people who are more attached to the items, and they tell themselves, "This stuff's worth big money. I'm gonna make big money on this someday." And then that someday comes, and they're too attached to the stuff to even give it up for the money that's being offered to them. And that is a real mentality, and it's an issue. And so what I'm saying is that don't let yourself get caught up in that where you are hoarding stuff because you don't want to sell it because you get too attached to it. You are sellers. This is what you want to do for a business. You have to actually sell it.
Yeah.
So, which means you have to actually list it. Just saying.
Yeah, Lori was talking about getting caught up in having the correct box for the item before she lists it because she sells a lot of hard goods. Don't worry about that too much. If it's something that's overly large, as long as you have your weights in there and estimate your box by a couple inches bigger than the item itself, it's fine. Don't let that hold you back. That's not. I get you really, if it's something super huge and awkward and weirdly shaped, then yeah, you probably want to make sure you have a box on hand so you're not scrambling when it sells. But if you don't, boxes are easy to come by. They're easy to find. They're easy to build. They're easy to Frankenbox. You'll always find a box for things.
Yeah. And if you have a bunch of stuff sitting there that you never list because you don't have the right box for it, you're never going to sell it. Whereas if you list all of it and then continue to work on getting the boxes for it, if something happens to sell and you got to run out and get a box, so be it. At least you sold it.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah, Gretchen, we want to know all the time from Allison who she sold or sold to be able to source such amazing and cool items. She lives in Alaska. That's what she had to give up. She had to sacrifice living
she likes it
outside
there.
of the frozen tundra. She lives in Alaska.
I think she likes it there.
I would like to visit someday. I definitely want to come visit you, Allison. But
So in Alaska, you know, isn't the ratio of like men to women like 9 to 1 or something like
yeah,
that?
it's something ridiculous.
So not only is she did she sell her soul to like get all this great stuff and live in Alaska, but do you think are like the dudes there, do they get pissed at Allison because she's a woman and she stole one of the only other women there?
It's quite possible.
I mean, that's pretty greedy, Allison. I'm sorry, but you are greedy. You get all the Pendletons, you get all the Filson, you get all the good stuff, the boots and all that stuff, and then you come in and you're taking their women. How could you do this? You're horrible. You're a horrible human being. Sold your soul to the devil. The devil probably thinks you're scary. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And evil. Anyway.
You're funny.
I am funny. All right, guys. It's after 2 o'clock. If you have any last minute questions, please.
We have a question about the Sizely website.
Yeah. Okay. Sizely, do you just use a free plan? The free plan really, for the most part, isn't even worth having because it's good for trying it out because there's like a couple of things that you think you can try out: jeans, t-shirts. But if you're selling clothes, you're gonna run out of templates because it's super limited. The paid plan, listen, I use theirs. What's going on here? Making lots of little ticky-tacky noises. The paid plan, it's super cheap. It's only $8 month to month to get the pro plan. And then you have unlimited stuff. You know what? We live in 2019. There's a million different sites and companies. Every time you go to McDonald's, the guy making minimum wage behind the thing could be taking a picture of your credit card. Like, come on. Your number gets out there. So don't let that hold you back from moving forward, getting the tools you need to use. Use your credit card. They're a reputable site. Eddie's a cool dude who runs it, who started it.
Use your PayPal
Don't worry about it. Use your PayPal credit card. Whatever. If you have a credit card, they have such great protections. Anytime, if somebody uses your credit card and it's not approved, like you're going to be fine. You're going to get your money back. It's never a problem. So just
there's never any reason why you could not file a claim if somebody did not use your card without permission or something like that. There's never an instance where you can't rectify it quickly. Yeah. And Eddie is a reputable person. The site is a reputable company. So I really wouldn't be concerned. I understand people have a bit of paranoia about credit cards still, but the reality is that somebody can scan your credit card information by walking past you with your purse in the shopping cart at the grocery store. So are you just never going to leave your house?
It's good. That's a good question. You make a good point. I'm staying here forever now.
Okay.
And I never have to put pants on. I love it. I love it. See, if people have that same issue with managed payments, credit cards, again, it's like, if you get too paranoid about this kind of stuff, then you're going to find yourself paralyzed, not able to do anything, because I'm telling you, unless you are somebody who's so careful that you use cash for everything, your credit card gets out there a million times every day. It's like you're constantly using your credit card. So, all these companies, they do, they protect your number and all that stuff. So just don't worry about it. Anyway, here we go, guys. Here we go. We're done. We're calling it. We're going to get back to work. You're going to go back and take more pictures. I'm going to get you
155 people watching, only 47 thumbs up and a couple of thumbs downers. So 152 of you like us. Do a little thumbs up on your way out, please.
Yeah, man. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. We love you. We'll be back on Sunday. I might have to send you out to go do some thrifting tomorrow because you don't have anything to show for the haul show.
I don't have anything.
I don't want you to embarrass me. So. Just kidding.
There is actually an estate sale that started today that had I known that it was going to have what it had in it. I didn't look until this morning. I probably should have gone to. I might go tomorrow.
You'll need to go get something tomorrow.
If any of the stuff is in the picture still.
Otherwise, you'll have to pull, I guess, some old stuff. But so join us on Sunday. I found some really, really cool stuff when I was out thrifting yesterday. So I can't wait to show you guys. And we will see you later. Again, next Wednesday, we are going to have Brooks on to talk about data mine, and Teresa will be here too. The bossiest of bosses, because she has used data mine and has been part of the demo, as have Katie and I, but we up front realistically have not used it. We've gone on there and played around a little bit. We've used it, but not to the extent that
Teresa has actually had a lot of input in the development of the program. Yeah. And we really want her expertise, as well as Brooks, the creator, Brooks and Wuchun, who is the technology person behind the idea. He's the designer.
Anyway, all right, guys. We will see you later, and we love you.
And have a nice
Go
week.
have an awesome weekend. Maybe do a little bit of work. Maybe have a little bit of fun. And we'll see you guys.
Thanks. Ow.
Bye.